the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Well, thank you very much. And the love and prayers to our entire nation, to the people of Australia, and especially all those affected by the horrific and anti-Semitic terrorist attack, and that's exactly what it is, anti-Semitic, that took place on a Hanukkah celebration in Sydney. What a terrible, terrible thing. We don't learn. We're joined in mourning all of those who were killed, and we're praying for the swift recovery of the wounded. Some are very horrifically wounded, as you probably know. All nations must stand together against the evil forces of radical Islamic terrorism, and we're doing that. Joining us tonight, our Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is doing a fantastic job. And much more importantly, his much more brilliant wife. Where are you? There you are. Would you come on up here, both of you? Get up here. Get up here. Look, every Saturday, every Sunday, I'm forced to watch television to listen to this guy talk about how frickin' great I am. Because he does like Trump. There's no question about it. Come on up here, Mark. Get up here. Come on up. What a beautiful couple. Did you get lucky? If you weren't a genius, you wouldn't have a wife like this. Mark, say a couple of words. Come here, darling. And these people do like Israel.
Hold on. And he loves Israel too.
Sure.
2 seconds. Just 2 seconds. 6 years ago, I was up here. And I said, this is our first Jewish president. Now he's the first Jewish president to serve two not consecutive presidencies. We thank you for everything.
That's right. Bad things happened on the second one. Namely, the election was rigged. And we found out, and you see that happening. But,
and you are the greatest president.
Thank you very much.
And God bless you. I miss you. I miss you.
Take care of that guy. Take care of that guy. No, he's so great. Thank you, Mark, for both being here. You both really are amazing. So, Yehuda Kaplun. Thank you, Rabbi. Oh, no. Sid Rosenberg. There he is. Sid. Do you want to come up here, Sid? Mark, should I let Sid come up, Mark? I think so. Come on, Sid. So Sid's got the #1 radio show in New York. Got the #1 radio show in New York, like by far, ABC. Works for a really nice guy, too. Actually, he's not that nice, but he's nice as far as I'm concerned. He works for a good man. Say a few words, Sid. Thank you.
I love him. Do you all love him? Has there been a president even close to this guy, even close? And now I know I love him. He starts tonight talking about Australia. Good luck with anybody else in our government, starting with the Jewish people in Australia. Nobody better. And the fact that you called me up on stage, I'm going to say this. My beautiful wife Danielle's in the audience. The birth of my 2 children. Outside of that, President Trump, this right now is the greatest moment of my life.
Thank you. He's almost crying. He never cried. He hasn't cried since he's a baby. Well, he's a great guy and a great man, and he loves Israel. And boy, you got some good people. Harmeet, thank you very much. And we always have to remember the ones that have been great in good times and bad. That's why Mark and the people I introduce, because I don't introduce them when they're just sort of good. When they're good, everyone's good. The day after I won the election, they were, sir, I just want to tell you, you're the greatest person I've ever seen. Thank you, sir. I'd love to have dinner sometime. Where have you been for the last 2 years? We have a lot of those people, mostly those. Jason, how are you, Jason? Jason Greenblatt. Do you know Jason Greenblatt? He worked for me for years. He's a great lawyer. Then he made a lot of money, and he said, I'm getting out. And you focused on Israel, right? That was the focus. He says, I love Israel. I just want to focus on Israel. It's good to see you, Dave. I haven't seen you in a long time, but he was a great lawyer. Here's another great lawyer, David. Good to have you here. Good to have you here, David. And we have another person that's a very special person. She received the Presidential Medal of Freedom. She is a beautiful woman, actually, in my opinion. Another one. That's 2 reasons now. And third, by the way, Mark, we have 3 reasons, Mark, because your wife is incredible, always, from day one. But I think it's okay if we ask Miriam Adelson. Do you want to come up here? Come up here, Miriam. Miriam gave my campaign, indirectly and directly, $250 million. She was number 1. When somebody can give you $250 million, I think that we should give her the opportunity to say hello. And Miriam, make it quick, because $250 million is not what it used to be. Okay? Hello, darling. Come in. Incredible woman with a great husband, a man that loved Israel.
Well, Mr. President, when you were in the Israeli parliament and you gave a speech and you saw me from far away, at that time I came with a scooter to the parliament just to hear you. I wanted to hear you alive. And then you say, Miriam Adelson, and I stood for a second, but it was so painful, so I sat. Then you screamed, Miriam, stand up! And I wish you would have known, but I stood up and heard all your compliment, and thank you very much.
I saw you back there standing.
Yeah, you saw me.
She stood
Thank
up
you.
bravely.
And now I met Alan Dershowitz, and he said the legal thing about 4 more years, and I say, Alan, I agree with you, so we can do it. Think about it.
Alan's
and I
here
would
someplace. Where's Alan?
Alan is here, or he had a flight? Alan is here? Think about it.
Thank you.
Maybe I will be the first one who told you, or second. Yeah.
She said, think about it. I'll give you another 250.
I will give.
But her husband, Sheldon, was an amazing guy, and he'd come up to the office, and there was nobody more aggressive than Sheldon. I think I spent more time with him and you, because you usually came up together, but he'd call and say, can I come over, please? I say, Sheldon, I'm President of the United States. It doesn't work that way anymore. It's like maybe tomorrow. How about tomorrow? No, please, just for a little while. And he'd always say 10 minutes. It turned out to be about an hour and a half, right? And what he did is he fought for Israel. That's all he really fought for. He just wanted to take care of Israel. So he was a great guy. He was a fantastic man, and he loved you so much. He couldn't see straight. So good. Thank you, darling. Be careful. And they would have had that, and within a month, I think they would have been a much different story. Would have been talking from a much different place. But the story of Hanukkah began more than 2,000 years ago in ancient Jerusalem, when the oppressive tyrant, and they were really oppressive, tried. By the way, a lot of things don't change so much. They'd be oppressive today if you didn't have strength. You need strength, Mark, right? If you don't have strength, and if you don't have a partner with a good president. Don't forget, you had a president previously that believed in Iran. They ditched the entire world for Iran. That's why they signed the Iran nuclear deal that I terminated immediately. It was the worst deal. Against overwhelming odds, a small band of Jewish fighters rose up to defend the Jewish people's right to worship freely. When they reclaimed the Holy Temple, they found only a single flask of sacred oil, just enough to keep the menorah's light burning for one night. They wanted that light to burn just for one night. Yet, as the story goes, that small flame endured for 8 days. Do you know that story? Does everybody know that story? For thousands of years, the miracle of Hanukkah has reminded us of God's love for the Jewish people as well as their enduring resilience and faith in the face of centuries of persecution. Centuries. And it continues. It continues. Who would believe this could continue? And it sort of started here with schools and universities, and Harmeet's taking care of that situation very strongly in the Department of Justice, right? Who would believe it? But we're grateful to be joined by another reminder of that unbreakable strength, two courageous survivors of the Nazi Holocaust, Jerry Worotsky and Michael Bornstein. Where are they? Where are you guys? Well, you look good. You look better than I do. You look fantastic. Jerry was only 9 years old when the Nazis invaded Poland. He lost both of his parents in the camps, but refused to let their murder defeat him. After the war, he came to New York, where he had an incredibly successful career, became very successful, and became a good friend of Melania and myself. And I want to thank you, Jerry, and that's incredible what took place. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you very much. Friend and a champion to the Jewish people. I have been. And I will say, you know, if you go back 10, 12, 15 years ago at the most, the strongest lobby in Washington was the Jewish lobby. It was Israel. That's no longer true. You have to be very careful. You have a Congress in particular which is becoming anti-Semitic. You have AOC +3. You have those people, Ilhan Omar, she hates Jewish people. And you have to be very careful because there's been a big change. You know, if you go back 15 years ago, I'm not Jewish, but my father was very friendly with many, many Jewish people, was honored by Federation. I would go with him to Federation of Jewish Philanthropies and many other things. And we grew up respecting and loving Jewish people. You know, you don't even think about it. In Brooklyn and Queens mostly. And my father didn't go to Manhattan. He never went to Manhattan from the standpoint. He could never understand how in Brooklyn you could buy a piece of land for $3 a foot and how in Manhattan you had to pay $1,000 a foot. He said, I can't get that. I don't like it. I like to buy it for $3. So it was different. It's a different thinking. In a way, I'm glad he didn't do that because he let me have some of that fun. And I had a lot of fun in Manhattan. We did great. But my father would tell me the most powerful lobby that there is in this country is the Jewish lobby. It's the Israeli lobby. It's not that way anymore. You have a lot of people in your way. You have a lot of people that don't want to help Israel. You have a lot of people in Congress that don't like Israel. You have a lot of people in Congress that, in a way, I think, Mike, we could say it, right? You're there. You're doing an amazing job, Mike Lawler. They hate Israel. They hate Israel. And if you would have told me 15 years ago that that was possible, Jason, I would have said, there's no way. There's no way that's possible. But it's happening. And obviously it's getting progressively worse. Less so in the Senate, but the Senate's starting also. You get glimmers, you know, when I'm in the back rooms talking to people, you get glimmers of statements that you say, whoa, where did that come from? So we have to be, Sid, we have to be very careful because bad things are happening. And then you see what goes on in Australia or October 7th. How about October 7th? And then you have people that deny it ever happened. How about the people that deny, like they deny the Holocaust, but, you know, you figure, well, that's just many years. Well, October 7th is not many years at all. And you have people that deny October. I saw tape that I wish I never saw it, actually. I wish I never saw it. I got to see tape that some of you got to see, but as president, I got to see things I wish I never saw. But there's no denying it. But then they'll say, oh, the tape was a rigged tape. It was a tape that never existed. They made it up. It's just propaganda. I don't know if they believe it. I don't think they believe it, but you have to be very, very careful. Bad things are happening, and we're not going to let that happen. While I'm president and the DOJ and Harmeet, we're not going to let it happen. But please, please be vigilant and careful because you have some bad people that are now in Congress that were unthinkable to be in Congress 12, 13, 14 years ago, 15 years ago, with an executive order to combat the vile scourge of anti-Semitism, as you know. It's the strongest executive order of its kind ever signed. Say what you want. Hamas, you know, we got back all of the hostages and all of the dead, young, beautiful people that were dead. And nobody thought that would happen. In fact, I even said, the toughest are going to be that final 20. We're never going to get them. But we played very tough, and we were very tough. We meant it. And we wanted to get back the 28 dead. 28 dead, young, beautiful people dead. Most of them, I think, pretty young. All of them pretty young. And the parents came up to me, and I told the story before. We had another little celebration of Hanukkah before. But I told the story before where the parents were as dedicated to getting their dead son back as they were to getting the live son back. It was an amazing and a beautiful thing, but I didn't think it would be possible. And then when we got the 20 back, when we got the live back, we didn't have anywhere close to the 28 dead. And I said, there's no way, but I said, you got to get it back. You got to get them back. I told that to Hamas, got to get them back. And you know what? One by one by one, we got them back. And we got the last one back. We got them all back. And amazing, though, those parents were as dedicated, I can't say more, but they were as dedicated as the parents who knew their son was alive, and they begged to have him. And I'm very proud of it. I thought the last 20, and it was tough, you had to know. But Steve Witkoff was great. Jared Kushner was great. And, you know, Jared's a brilliant guy, we all know. But Steve's a great deal maker. But I noticed one thing about him. He had the greatest personality. He was a real estate guy in New York. He knew less about rivers and meets and bounds in Russia and the various places he's working on. He knew nothing about it. But I recognized for 20 years, I've been dealing with everybody in New York. I said, Steve has the best personality. I have other guys that are great deal makers, but you have to go into World War III before the deal. We didn't want that. I said, everybody loves Steve. He's a great deal maker, but everybody loves him. And that's what turned out to be. People love Steve. And I think we're going to be pretty close. I mean, we're going to see. I thought the easiest war to settle would be Russia, Ukraine, because they have a good relationship with Putin. It would have never happened. The story of Hanukkah reminds us that light will always prevail over darkness, and faith and triumph over fear. Together, let us honor the eternal flame and the faith that has always protected the Jewish people. You are protected. You are special, special people. You are special people. So I want to thank everybody. I want to wish you all a happy Hanukkah. And you know, this is the first time that I've ever brought up notes to make a speech for. We call them the Christmas dinners. I call them the Christmas Hanukkah dinners, if that's okay. I hope you don't mind. But I call them New Year's dinners too. But I've made about 20 of them so far. I never had any others. I brought this up. You know why? I've done so much for Israel that I have to read. Look at it. I got like pages. And I don't want to leave anything out. I don't want to leave Golan Heights out. I want to tell you what we did. But it's an honor to help you. I have so many friends, and a lot of you are right in this audience. Very special group of people. You know, for every time we have one of these parties, we have to turn down 10 people for everyone that makes it. It's the White House. Soon you'll have a ballroom that's so big I can handle. And we just won the case today. Did you know that, Mark? We just won the case. We got sued. We're donating a $400 million ballroom. And we got sued not to build it. For 150 years, they've wanted a ballroom. And we're giving them, myself and donors are giving them, free of charge, for nothing. We're donating a building that's approximately 400 million. I think I'll do it for less. But it's 400. I should do it for less. I will do it for less. But just in case I say 400, otherwise if I go $3 over, the press will say, it costs more. I build under budget and ahead of schedule. Right, Jason? Always. I know how to build under budget. I build good. But we won the case. They asked for a restraining order to stop us from building a magnificent ballroom. I said, who would ask for a restraining? We're giving them, Sid, a $400 million. It'll be the most beautiful ballroom, and it'll handle inaugurations. It's got 5-inch thick glass windows. Impenetrable by anything but a howitzer. It's impenetrable. Now, I will say, if I'm up making a speech someday, Mark, and I hear ding, 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 I'm out of there. But it's going to be one of the greatest. I think it'll be the greatest ballroom anywhere in the world. But I said, who else but in our country would sue to stop a $400 million beautiful ballroom that people have been after for the White House? The White House has wanted a ballroom for 150 years. You know, they used to use a tent, and they have a tent, and the tent would go in a very low area because it's the only area that can handle a big tent. And if it rained, the rain would go over the woman's beautiful shoes with the high heels, about 6-7 inches worth of water. They'd be sitting in the water, and people said, we'd rather have that than a brand new. This ballroom is going to be amazing. Also designed to handle the inauguration so that you have total safety from not only the weather. January 20th is always a disaster from a coldness standpoint. But, you know, we had it in the Capitol, and there was nothing more beautiful.